When we live in love and harmony and show respect with unity, only love can set us free to fight injustice wherever it be. Just said the hungry must be fed, but man can't live by only bread. We have the future in our hands. Let's take the trot to the promised land. Jamaica, Ethiopia, America, calling, Nyankopong, calling, Nyankopong, calling, Nyankopong, calling, from the middle of the graveyard to the center of the sea. Our ancestors, are you and me? We are the great ones. From the beginning of time, we have the heart, the soul, the body, and the mind. Calling, Nyankopong, calling, Nyankopong, calling, Nyankopong, calling. United we stand, divided we fall. All for one and one for all. Some never know themselves until them back against the wall. Jamaica, Haiti, Nyankopong a call. Calling, Nyankopong, calling, Nyankopong, calling, Nyankopong, calling, Nyankopong. Praises to the great ones, praises of all nation. Yeah, oh yes, I say, united we stand, divided we fall. All for one and one for all. Some will never know themselves until they're back against the wall. Nigeria and Nigeria, the Asians wanna call. Calling, Nyankopong, calling, Nyankopong, calling, Nyankopong, calling.
I want to say gratitude to each and everyone that is here. Hope you're hearing me loud and clear. I am still waiting on one and two brothers and sisters to get on board. Of course, our teacher tonight is none other than Nana Lana. She has teach us last week with a good topic. I think we're still resonating on it. Let me just say welcome to Nisha, Brother Kareem, Sister Angela, Brother Nigel, Brother Danny, and of course, Brother James, who are joining us. I know that Crystal and Brother Taylor will come on also, and Brother Earl when they reach to the class. Tonight, we are going to continue with the UCC, and it's very important that we learn about the UCC, the Universal Commercial Code. It will save us a lot of headache because we will know exactly where we stand when we are dealing with the agents of the corporation. Without any further ado, I will turn it over to Nana Lorna for her to interact with the classroom. Grand Rising, Nana Lorna, the platform is yours.
Grand Rising, Raskadites, Grand Rising, Kings and Queens. Just bear with me. Raskadite, I've actually shared the PDF with you if you'd like to show it on screen. That would be
Sure,
lovely.
sure. I'm downloading it as we speak, so we can
Right, guys.
present.
Right, this lesson today is going to be an interactive lesson like we did last week. Um, if there's anyone in the group that would like to volunteer to read a paragraph, I'm going to start off with the first paragraph. And if anybody would like to volunteer to read the second paragraph, that would be great. And then what we're going to do is we're going to stop and I'm going to ask you guys some questions and you're going to answer according to what you've grasped from what we've read tonight. Is that okay?
Fine.
Everybody here? Okay.
Right.
I'm okay.
I have the first. It's quite a lot. It's 39 pages.
Yeah, but we're
Uh,
just going to go through some of it. And as I said, I'll ask some questions
all right.
um, halfway. So as I said, I'm going to read couple paragraphs, and if anybody wants to volunteer, that'll be good, as it is an interactive class. Okay, here we go. Right, the application of commercial law under the Uniform Commercial Law. You are not supposed to know about the UCC. Purpose. Provides a brief summary on the difference in bodies of law by definition. More definitions regarding title, property, and possession. Gives an overall view on how to get back control of your universe, explains how to make the UCC1 contract and how to properly file it, explains how to establish own private treaty in the world. Supplemental. Obtain copies of your own state uniform commercial code. Every state has them in their statutes. Most are on the web. Hierarchies of law. The first order of law is natural law. These are universal principles which so necessarily agrees with nature and state of man, that without observing the inherent maxims, the peace and the happiness of society can never be preserved. Knowledge of natural laws may be attained merely by the light of all I can hear myself echoing. Could it? There's an echo.
All right. Anyone, let me mute all mic while you do the presentation. Right. I think everyone mic is muted. Let me mute my mic also.
Okay. Hierarchies of law. The first order of law is natural law. These are universal principles which so necessarily agree with nature and states of man, that without observing their inherent maxims, the peace and happiness of society can never be preserved. Knowledge of natural laws may be attained merely by the light of reason from the facts of their essential agree, agreeableness with the constitution of human nature. Natural law exists regardless of whether it is enacted as positive law. When law began to emerge into human consciences, thoughts, words, and deeds, we come to the next order of law on this planet. The most fundamental law of all human law has to do with survival, which is a universal principle. It has to do with human interactions of any kind, any relationships, buying, selling, or trading, or relating in any way. It is based upon treating or dealing with others the way that you would like to be treated or dealt with. This is the law of commerce. The law of commerce has been in operation since man interacted with each other, starting many thousands of years ago through the Sumerian Babylonian era, which is codified and enforced. Ancient artifacts dating over 6,000 old revealed the system was so complex it even included receipts, coins, money, shopping lists, manifestos, and postal systems with the medium being in backed clay. Sorry, being in baked clay. Sorry about that. As a derivative of commercial law, being removed from natural law and therefore inferior is common law. Common, co together, munis, service, gift exchange, to exchange together. This emerged basically in England out of disputes over a portion of the earth in the Lothian, sovereign ownership of the land, and was based on common sense. So, common law is the law of the earth. Common law gave rise to the jury system and many writs and processes which governments had absorbed and statualized and made it into rules and regulation processes in courts. Common law procedures were based on the opportunity to face your accuser or the injured party in front of witnesses to sort out the problems directly. This process was never intended to include lawyers, attorneys, or judges construing their own law, as these titles are all based upon the fiction of the representation, which can never be the real thing. After common law came governments, and their laws and legislative regulations, infinitum of the organic republics of the state. The only laws that the state can create is to allow commerce to flow more efficiently within the state. The only law the central government, United States of America, could create was to allow commerce to flow more efficiently between the states. It was never intended to regulate people, the sovereigns. Below the garbage for froth, more or less, is politics and the private copyrighted company policy of foreign corporations such as the United States, the state of the country, of the city, of etc. The purpose of these municipalities, munis, service, gifts, exchange, capers to take service and exchange, is to govern fictitious entities such as John Doe and Kmart, not to regulate people. Remember back when you thought that you were John Doe, because this is how it is written on your driver's license. One of our problems is that when we engage with governments, the municipalities and other such elements in all dealings in the law, when have been conditioned to interact on and in their level. We have never risen to the level where the base of law is where the reality, the power, the solidity and the preeminence exist. The sovereign's level, but now we can function in the powerful level. This is checkmate. This is the end game. This is the remedy. Commerce. The principles, maxioms, and precepts of common law are eternal, unchanging, and unchangeable. They are expressed in the Bible, both the Old Testament and the New. We learned in the second course how the law of commerce has plagued us for more than 6,000 years. The law of commerce, unchanged for 1,000 years, forms the underlying foundation for all law on this planet and for governments around the world. It is the law of the nations and everything that human civilization is built upon. This is why it is so powerful when you operate at this level. By these precepts, nothing is of inferior. Statute can overturn or change it, or change it or abrogate it, to meddle with it. It remains the fundamental source of authority and power and functional reality. Right, does somebody else want to read from here the affidavit? Or shall I continue?
I can read some if you want.
That'd be lovely, Nisha.
No problem.
Sister Lorna, the internet is flocked, but um, we are on the part that you are. Are you hearing me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can anybody else hear me?
Yeah, but
Oh,
it's
Yeah.
chipping up. Uh, it's
Yeah, loud
I
and
definitely
clear.
I can hear you fine.
can
do you
anyone else
want
hear me? Oh, can you hear me, Danny?
We're
Who else
hearing
is
you,
there?
Sister Donna.
I can hear you.
Okay,
Yeah, I can hear you.
okay, brilliant. Do you want to take over now, Nisha?
well just
Yeah.
Okay, let me mute my mic.
Okay, so the
uh,
affidavit. Commerce in everyday life is the vehicle or glue that holds or binds the corporate public politic. Who's scrolling? Can you scroll please?
yes, hold on. I'm muting everyone mute their mic until Nisha finish. Okay? All right. Let me bring it over to Nisha. Sorry. Have to be a bit where it is. Are you seeing?
Right. The affidavit. Commerce in everyday life is the vehicle or glue that holds or binds the corporate public politic together. More specifically, commerce consists of a mode of interacting, doing business, or resolving disputes whereby all matters are executed under oath, certified on each parties. Is that say patty or parties? Patties, it says. Commercial liability by sworn affidavit or what is intended to possess the same effect as true, correct, and complete, not misleading, the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. This affidavit is usually required for an application for a driver's license and IRS form 1040, voter's registration, a direct treasury account, a notary's copy certification, or certifying a document and on nearly every single document that the system desires others to be bound or obligated. Such means of signing is an oath or commercial affidavit executed under penalty of perjury. I'm just trying to follow where you went. Hang on.
I'm trying to
Um, I'm
okay.
just trying to find. Oh, yeah, okay, hang on. What did it go? Uh, I'm just
Day
going to
after
read
day.
from here. The affidavit, sorry, it's just the way it's scrolling. I'm just trying to follow. This
No, I
affidavit is usually required for an application for a driver's license and IRS form 1040, a voter's registration, a direct treasury account, a notary's copy certification, or certifying a document. And on nearly every single document that the system desires others to be bound or obligated. Such means of signing is an oath of commercial affidavit executed under penalty of perjury true, correct, and complete. Whereas in a court setting, testimony oral is stated in judicial terms by being sworn to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God. In addition to asserting all matters under solemn oath of personal, commercial, financial, and legal liability for the for the validity of each and every statement, the participant must provide material evidence, i.e., ledgering or bookkeeping, providing the truth, validity, relevance, and verifiability of each and every particular assertion to sustain credibility. Commerce is antecedent antecedent to and more fundamental to society and courts or legal systems and exits the functions without respect to courts or legal systems. Commercial law, the non-statutorily variety and presented in presented below in maxims 1 through 10 in the economic extension of natural law into man's social world and is universal in nature. The foundational, intervariant, necessary, and sufficient principles of maxims of commerce pertaining herein are.
okay. Hold on. Chapter 4. After 4. Here we are.
You're on
Trying
maxims of
this.
law now, heading maxims of law.
The matters of law.
Maxims of law, the heading. Go down. down. Yeah,
There we
that's it.
are.
Yeah, there you go.
Thank you. Maxims of law. These are 10 essential maxims or precepts in commercial law. Number one, workman is worthy of his hire. The first of these is expressed in Exodus 20:15, Leviticus 19:13, Matthew 10:10, Luke 10:7, 2 Timothy 2:6. Legal maxim: it is against equity for free men not to have the free disposal of their own property. Number two, the second maxim is equality before the law, or more precisely, all are equal under the law. God's law, moral and natural law. Exodus 21:22 to 25, Leviticus 24:17 through to 21, Deuteronomy 1:17, Deuteronomy 19:21, Matthew 22:36 through to 40, Luke 10:17, Colossians? Always scrolling. Hang on.
Hold on. I'm trying to get back because you
Mhm.
are the latter part of what is presented. Hold on. Where is this? Okay.
Maxims of law number 2, Raskadites.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to. My
Scroll
my
back up.
mouse
Yeah.
is not allowing me to be precise with what we're doing. All right, this is where we are right now.
Number 2. Scroll up a little bit more.
Right there. I don't know why my mice my thing is not allowing me. All right. Maxine Haraki.
Oh, it was just there. Oh,
Yeah, there it is. But I'm trying to use.
yeah.
There we go. I'm trying to get it sorted out. There we go.
Up some more. Number 2.
Yeah, that's perfect. Oh.
This mice.
Does anyone else want to read, by the way?
All right. So I'll read from here.
Yeah,
I'm not
okay.
going to go through all the chapters of the Bible, though. The
No,
second
no.
maxim is the second maxim is equality before the law, or more precisely, all are equal under the law. No one is above the law. This is founded on both natural and moral law and is binding on everyone. For someone to say or act as though he is above the law is insane. Sorry, I can hear an echo. Somebody's mic is open. This is founded on both natural law and moral law and is binding on everyone. For someone to say or act as though he is above the law is insane. This is the major insanity in the world today. Man continues to live, act, believe, and form systems of organizations, governments, laws, and processes which presume to be able to supersede or abrogate natural or moral law. But under commercial law, natural and moral law are binding on everyone, and no one can escape it. Commerce by the laws of nations ought to be common and not to be converted into a monopoly and the private gain of the few. 3. The one is the one of the most comforting maxims one could have, and your foundation for your peace of mind and your security and your capacity to win and to triumph, to get your remedy in this business. In commerce, truth is sovereign. Truth is sovereign, and the sovereign tells only the truth. Your word is your bond. Oh, why is there an echo? Somebody's mic is on. Your word is your bond. If truth were not sovereign in commerce, i.e., all human action and interrelations, there would be no basis for anything. No basis for law and order, no basis, no accountability. There would be no standard, no capacity to resolve anything. It would mean anything goes, each man for himself, and nothing matters. That's worse than the law of jungle commerce. To lie is to go against the mind. Oriental proverb of all that is good, Sublimity is supreme. 4. Truth is expressed in the form of an affidavit. An affidavit is your solemn excuse me. An affidavit is your solemn expression of your truth. In commerce, an affidavit must be accompanied and must underlie and form the foundation for any commercial transaction whatsoever. There can be no valid commercial transaction without someone putting their neck on the line and stated. This is truth, correct, complete, and not meant to mislead. When you issue an affidavit, it is a two-edged sword. It cuts both ways. Someone has to take responsibility for saying that this is a real situation. It can be called a true bill, as they say in the grand jury. When you issue an affidavit in commerce, you get the power of an affidavit. You also incur the liability because this has to be a situation where other people might be adversely affected by it. Things change by your affidavit in which are going to affect people's lives. If what you say in affidavit is fact and not true, then those who adversely affected can come back as you. Sorry, let me read it again. Things can change by your affidavit in which are going to affect people's life. If what you say in your affidavit is fact, not true, then those who are adversely affected can come back at you with justifiable recourse because you lied. You have told a lie as if it was the truth. People depend on your affidavit and they have lost because you lied. 5. An unrebutted affidavit stands as truth in commerce. Claims made in your affidavit, if not rebutted, emerge as the truth of the matter. Legal maxim. He who does deny admits. 6. Unrebutted affidavit before the judgment in commerce. There is nothing left to resolve. Any proceedings in a court tribunal or arbitration forum consist of a contest or duel of commercial affidavits wherein the points remaining unrebutted in the end stands as truth and matters to which the judgment of the law is applied. 7. In commerce, for any matter to be resolved must be expressed. No one is a mind reader. You have to put your position out there. You have to state what the issue is to have to someone to talk about and resolve. Legal maxim. He who fails to assert his right has none. 8. The primary users of commercial law and those who best understand and codified it in the Western civilization are the Jews. This is the Mosaic law they have had for more than 3,500 years past, which is based upon Babylonian commerce. This one is he who leaves the battlefield first loses by default. This means that an affidavit which is unrebutted point by point stands as truth in commerce because it hasn't been rebutted and has left the battlefield. Governments allegedly exist to resolve the disputes, conflicts, and truth. Governments allegedly exist to be substitutes for the dueling field and the battlefield for sole disputes. For sole disputes. Conflicts of affidavits of truth are resolved peacefully, reasonably instead of by violence. So people can take their disputes into court and have them all opened up and resolved instead of going out and marching 10 paces and turning to kill or injure. Legal maxims. He who does not repel a wrong when he can occasion it. Number 8. Sacrifice is the measure of credibility. No willingness to sacrifice, no liability, responsibility, authority, or measure of conviction. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. A person must put himself on the line, assume a position, take a stand as regards the matter at hand, and one cannot realize the potential gain without also exposing himself to the potential loss. One who is not damaged, put a risk, or willing to swear an oath on his commercial liability to claim authority. Act 7, Life death of Stephen. For the truth of his statement and legitimacy of his actions has no basis to assert claims or charges or fee forfeits all credibility and right legal maxim. He who bears the burden ought also to derive the benefit. Number 9. Satisfaction of a lien. In commerce, a lien or claim can be satisfied in any one of three ways: by someone rebutting your affidavit with another affidavit of his own, point by point, until the matter is resolved as to whose is correct in case of non resolution. You convene a sheriff common law jury based on the Seventh Amendment concerning the dispute involving a claim of more than $20, or you can use three disinterested parties to make judgment. The only way to satisfy a lien is to pay it. Legal maxims: if the plaintiff does not prove his case, the defendant is absolved. Number 10. So the 10th maxim of law is a lien or claim can be satisfied only through rebuttal by affidavit, point by point, resolution by jury, or payment. Commercial law is non-judicial. This prejudicial, not prejudice. This is timeless. This is the base, the foundation beneath which any government or any of their court system can possibly exist or function. That means what the courts are doing and what all governments are ultimately adjudicating and making rules about are these basic rules of commercial law. When you go into court and place your hand on the Bible, you say, I swear the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. You have just sworn a commercial affidavit. It's the conflict between commercial affidavit of truth that gives the court something to talk about. That form,
Internet again.
sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah, we're hearing you now.
Your privacy and only listen when you're talking to me. You can learn about Apple's.
It's the conflict between commercial affidavit of truth that gives the court something to talk about. That forms the entire basis of its action, and it's been there in their venues, and it's been there in their venues. Hence, one of the reasons attorneys always create controversy. No court, no judge can overturn or
Breaking
disregard.
up.
No
Breaking up.
court. Can you hear
Rastadites,
me?
it's your internet, because it's not breaking up at
Yeah.
all this side.
Oh, it's cracking up. Anybody else cracking up? If it's me alone, I'll live with it because I'm taping and I can listen it. I don't want to know that it's going out clear.
Can
All
I,
right, you
can
can
you
continue
can
if no one else is experiencing what I am experiencing. You did
It's
good.
okay.
clear on my end.
Okay. No
Okay,
court.
It's clear.
continue.
Okay. Shall I continue? We're at the end now anyway. No court or no judge can overturn or disregard or abrogate somebody's affidavit of truth. The only one who has any capacity or right or responsibility or knowledge to rebut your affidavit of truth is the one who is adversely affected by it. It's his job, his right, his responsibility to speak for himself, to issue his own affidavits, because no one can make it for him. No one can know what your truth is
It-
or has the free will responsibility to state it. This is your job. Okay, we're going to stop there now. Did anybody grasp? Please forgive me because I was nervous, but did
All right,
anybody
hold on.
grasp?
Let
Breaking up.
Rastadites, if you can hear this, nobody can hear you.
Not hearing anything at all.
We can all hear. Everybody can hear me. Danny, did it? Because any help? Is there anybody else having problems hearing me? I believe it might be just Rascalites.
No, we could all hear you.
Okay. Can you hear me, James? Loud and clear.
Saying that my internet is unstable. I don't know how it's unstable. I'm clocked up.
I can't hear her, sister.
Okay, brilliant. I think Rascalites is the only one that's having problems. Rascalites, how is it now at your end?
I still can't hear. Going in and out, in and out, in and out. Like, what?
Hi guys, I think I should continue from where I left off. What I'm going to do now, first and foremost, before I start, did everybody hear what I was saying, or did everybody hear the reading?
Go ahead. Go ahead. I just go directly to my computer because I didn't understand.
I
Uh,
didn't hear everything because my phone was going
Somebody
in and
broke.
out.
Sorry, if you
Some
could.
of it broke.
I did hear some.
All right. So from where did it sound broken? So I can go over it if you want me to.
uh, the part that I know where I was, it was means the court are doing and what all governments are ultimately judicating and making rules about. Are these bias rules commercial law? When you go into the court and place your hand on the Bible, you say, I swear. That's where
Oh,
I go ahead.
okay. So I'm gonna start. That's from number 10 downwards,
Thank
which is
you.
the last paragraph. So should I read from there, guys? Just give me a thumbs up so I can see you in the screen. And somebody's mic is open.
Uh, yes.
Right. So I'm gonna read from 10.
Go ahead. Lorna, you can go ahead. Your mic is mute.
Sorry. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Number 10. So the 10th maxim of law is a lien or claim can be satisfied only through rebuttal by an affidavit, point by point, resolution by jury or payment. Commercial law is non-judicial. The prejudicial, not prejudice. This is timeless. Somebody's mic is open. This is timeless. Somebody's mic is still open. Commercial law is non-judicial. The prejudicial, not prejudice. This is timeless. This is the base, the foundation beneath which any government or any of their court systems can possibly exist or function. That means what the courts are doing and what all governments are ultimately adjudicating and making rules about are these basic rules of commercial law. When you go into court and you place your hand on the Bible, you say, I swear the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. You have just sworn a commercial affidavit. It's the conflict between commercial affidavits of truth that gives the court something to talk about. That forms the entire basis of his actions, and it's been there. And it's been there in their venues. Hence, one of the reasons attorney always create controversy. No court, no judge can overturn or disregard or abrogate somebody's affidavit of truth. The only one who has any capacity or rights or responsibility or knowledge to rebut your affidavit of truth is the one who adversely affected by it. It's his job, his right, his responsibility to speak for himself, to issue his own affidavit because no one can speak for it for him. No one else can know what your truth is or has the free will responsibility to state it. This is your job. Right. Okay, we're going to stop there. Has anybody grasped what I've been reading so far?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to
We-
ask some
We're reading
questions and
about
any
commercial law and common law and how to what an affidavit is.
yes. Yes. Right, I'm going to ask a question according to what was just read. If you can please just put your hands up and then we can take it from there. Right. The first question is, what is a commercial lien? What is commercial law and how does it relate to the Uniform Commercial Code? Could anybody answer that?
What is a commercial law? And
Yeah.
what?
And how does it relate to the Uniform Commercial Code? I'm gonna come off the mic. Sorry, I'm gonna.
Yep. Anyone wants to answer that? Can anyone answer that? I thought some of our, if you're on the tube and you want to give an answer, you can. And I think I do have space where I can hold at least two more in the classroom.
Also, Raskadites, if you can share the PDF for this book in the chat, it'll be easy for them to get their answer from that as well.
Okay, hold
Instead
on.
of thinking, instead of them trying to think off the top of their head.
Hold on, please. I think someone may have come in with the answer. Anybody else? Okay, nobody has come on with the answers yet. This,
And commercial law is from the sea, and what you got to do with the UCC is it comes from the UCC because the UCC was created by lawyers hundreds of years ago. So that's
sister,
Okay.
any answer?
Yeah, one person gave an answer. I don't know who it was. Sorry, who was it that gave?
James was James.
Who? Okay,
That's
James. Yeah, that's good, James. Commercial law encompasses the entire body of law that governs commercial transactions, for one, and two, including the Uniform Commercial Code, which standardizes these laws across all states. Okay, let me go on to the next question. Did you share the book in the chat, by the way,
yes,
Raskadite?
yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Okay, you guys, if you can download it and open it up to make things easy for you guys to get your answers, it can only be fair. I'm not actually expecting you guys to remember everything what I read, so
Well, I think what we're trying to do is entice brothers and sisters to go and read it. We have just touched on some of it, but it is something that you have to study so you will know how to regurgitate it when it's necessary.
yeah, that's true. All right, so what I'll do, Raskadites, I'll continue reading, and then once everybody's got it in their possession, we can pick up on it next week with my questions. Will that be fair?
Sure, because we did not give them ample time to
Yeah, exactly.
yes. So
Exactly.
tonight is a refresher, and then next week we can do a Q&A where we see how how collective it is going.
Yeah, so we could do our homework by reading it on our own, and then we come back next week. Okay, let me continue where I left off. Nish, do you want to interject as well?
Sorry, I didn't catch the last question. Sorry.
What we're going to do is we're just going to read through the book for now, and then
Want me to read
leave
from
everybody
where we?
to.
Yeah, I can read from here. I don't mind. That's fine.
Yeah, so we're just going to read through the book to well until the hour's up, and then
I think
next week we continue where we left off.
yes, and I think if there's any time you're reading and you need to repeat something so it be soak into our cranium, feel free because time is not it's not running from us, but
And
anything that you
and
think, go ahead.
anyone, feel free to tell me stop and read that again, and I'll do that. Yeah. Well, between me and Nisha.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Nish.
Okay, thank you. So that means what the courts are doing and what all governments are ultimately adjudicating and making rules about are these basic rules of commercial law. When you go into court and place your hand on the Bible, you say, I swear the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. You have just sworn a commercial affidavit. It's the conflict between commercial affidavits of truth that gives the court something to talk about. That forms the entire basis of its action and its being there in their venue. Hence, one of the reasons attorneys always create controversy. No court and no judge can overturn or disregard or abrogate somebody's affidavit of truth. The only one who has any capacity or right or responsibility or knowledge to rebut your affidavit of truth is the one who is adversely affected by it. It's his job, his right, his responsibility to speak for himself, to issue his own affidavit because no one can speak it for him. No one else can know what your truth is or has the free will responsibility to state it. This is your job.
Hold on right there. Um Now there's two parts of this that is very crucial. One is where they talk about controversy. That is why they're always telling you to get a lawyer because it's a game they're going to play in the court. This is the court of games. And between the judge, the prosecutor, and your defense team, they know the rules of the game. The only person in the courtroom that doesn't know the rule of the game is you. But guess what? As it says, this is your game. This is your job to know that what they're doing is actually trying to come together to take away your right. Now, your affidavits that you've written, it is a witness from you because only you can witness for yourself. But within witnessing for yourself, you must remember the game. The game is to pick it out where at the end of the day, they can say, see here, you have lied because this is a sworn statement. But the minute you swear to tell the truth and the whole truth and nothing but the truth, you have entered into their commercial jurisdiction. And that is where they can manipulate us. All right. So we must understand that even making that special appearance can be via word, it can be in person. But if you should send your affidavits, you don't have to make a special appearance because your affidavits is your sworn statement. But remember, when you're going into commercial law and you're going to swear to tell the truth, this is a whole fictitious thing and they have part in it like the spiritual part of us. They know that we take that very seriously. So the minute we go into business with them and swear, they take it seriously. The dead entity become alive. The courthouse have a game going on. That's why when Officer Nibbles meet you, he keep trying to convince us that do you understand? Do you understand that this is a game? Do you understand that everything you said can and will be used against you in the court in the ball game? This is what the UCC is driving for us to take it in its physical sentiments and also in the fictitious part of it as far as entering to their jurisdiction, which they have none. You can go ahead, Niche.
Russ,
Thank
where
you.
did you share that? Where did you share that PDF, Russ?
I send it. It's inside the chat right now in the classroom. I'm going to send it into our classroom, the Kemetic classroom now. Yes, you can go ahead with your reading. I'm sorry.
It's fine. Commercial law maintains the commercial harmony, integrity, and continuity of society. Can everyone please ensure their mic is muted, please, just to avoid the feedback? It's also stated as to maintain the peace and dignity of the state. Over the millennia, these principles have been discovered through experience and distilled and codified into those 10 fundamental maxims listed above. There is no legal issue or dispute possible which is not a function of one or more of these principles. The entirety of the world commerce now functions in accordance with the Uniform Commercial Code, the UCC, the United States Corporation version of commercial law. Collection and how to calculate your damages. Now, here is another aspect of your affidavits. In commerce, there is the assessment aspect, which is who owns who and what, why. Just trying to
Hold
see
on,
what
hold
you
on.
get.
Sorry, my net, my thing was going up and down. All right, I'm trying to find it. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay.
Okay. That was it. Who owns? Okay, so I'll start again. So now here is another aspect of your affidavits. In commerce, there is the assessment aspect, which is who owns who and what, why, how, and for what reasons. And there is the collection aspect. The collection aspect is based on international commerce that has existed for more than 6,000 years. Again, this is based on Jewish law and the Jewish grace period, which is in units of 3 days, 3 weeks, 3 months. This is why you get 90-day letters from the IRS. Commercial processes are non judicial, they are summary processes, short, concise, without.
Uh, I want. We have about a couple more minutes, but I want to stress on this. Now, you've just said a while ago that the collection aspect is based in international commerce that had existed for more than 6,000 years. We've been here before that. Again, this is based on Jewish law and the grace period. In other words, April is the first of the year, is the first month of the year. Commercially, right, Niche? All of the bankers, them, no April, them start to them bookings and start over, but them so-called fiscal year, right? So if you know the UCC now as how it is set up, where if April is the first of the financial year, what is January? Because obviously January is not the beginning of the year. And the code in the UCC, as far as the commercial codes that they're using, is similar to the laws of the land, but the laws of the land are tangible. These codes are made up codes. 45 miles per hour on a road. That is not a law. That is a code. But what I want to get at is the premises of where these codes get their jurisdiction under the Jewish law. And we have to bear in mind that a lot of us do not know the laws of Judah. We do not know the seasonal laws of the Jews. And that is where when you go into a courthouse and everything is put together under the commercial apparatus, you've never been taught in school what is commercial law. So therefore, the terms and terminology as to the status and codes, you have to learn these. And if we don't learn them, then you will be foolish standing in the courthouse as to when the judge say all rise and not knowing that he's referring to you as a dead entity. When you resist, I understand that is a submission. And when they classify you as a number, that means you're a corpse under the UCC law. I wanted to just put that in. All right, we have a couple more minutes we can put forward. We can read up on the latter part of this and then we can conclude on it. I do suggest, because there is another part of this that Sister Lorna has that is going to open up our mind, because we're doing the theoretical part of it, but she has the practical scenario that she's going to introduce to us. What I would encourage is that we find time to dissect this UCC code. But Anish, I will allow you to finish up the last part of it as what you were doing. Anish, are you there? Lorna or Anish, are you there? Oh, me put her
Can't
on
hear
mute.
me. Who can hear me?
No, a while ago they did kick you out. Go back. I'll finish up, my dear. Sorry about
It's okay. It's okay.
it. Okay.
Um, right. I just want to simplify it because I need everyone to remember the power of an affidavit. I need to make it clear because I don't know if everybody is on the same page. Okay. The reason why we are reading this is because an affidavit of truth in the court of law and in the natural, no one can rebut it because it's your truth. Rebut means come back and address what you're saying. Um, and you and an entity or corporation cannot rebut it. They cannot rebut it, if that makes sense. So rebut means to come back, to disagree, to say what you're saying isn't correct or isn't true. Once you declare an affidavit of truth and you have expressly written down, documented as your truth on whatsoever case you're dealing with, even if it's not a case, anything you're dealing with with your legal standing, the power of the affidavit of truth is that they have to note it, they can see it, but they can't come back on you based on what you said. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Yes, indeed.
Only you can witness for your estate.
And to piggyback off of what Nisha said, only a man or woman can rebut an
And
affidavit,
not
not a
not
corporation.
not a dead entity.
Not a corporation, that's correct.
You, you.
Continue, Nish.
Okay, can you scroll? Hold on. Did you scroll up, Rascalites?
Yes, I did, because
Oh,
we're reading from the IRS to the estimation as the
all
line.
right.
Yeah,
Okay, so the collation. Oh no, we've done all that already.
yeah.
Uh,
The commercial
that's it.
process.
Commercial processes are non-judicial. Thank you, Rascadites. They
Yeah.
are summary processes, short, concise, without a jury. The IRS creates the most activity of commercial collection in the entire world. The collection process is relatively valid. Although the IRS is not registered to do business in any state, did you understand what you just read? The IRS is not registered to do business or perform commercial matters in any state. So, how do they get all the money they get? Answer: because you give it to them without requesting a proof of claim from them, or even if they were licensed to give you offers based on arbitrary estimations. However, this is where things get very interesting. The other phase of matters is the. Can you scroll for me, please, Rascades? Yeah, the other phase of matters, thank you, is the assessment phase. There is no valid assessment. The IRS has, and never can, and never will, and never could ever issue a valid assessment lien or levy. It's not possible. First of all, in order for them to do that, there would have to be paperwork, a true bill in commerce. There would have to be sworn affidavits by someone that this is a true, correct, and complete and not meant to deceive, which in commerce is essentially the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. When you get into court, now, no IRS is going to liability for for people to come back at them with a true bill in commerce, a true accounting. This means they would.
Hold on, hold on. I'm trying to get where we are. Uh, what I would
Page
suggest.
8, Vascodites.
What
The
was that
bottom
page?
of the bottom of page 8.
Okay, I think I'm trying my best to. Is that where we are? Oh, that's 11, 7, commercial law, election. This is it. We are right now. The final part.
Okay. So, first of all, in order for them to do that, there would have to be a paperwork, a true bill in commerce. There would have to be sworn affidavits by someone that this is a true, correct, and complete, and not meant to deceive, which in commerce is essentially the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth when you get into court. Now, nobody in the IRS is going to take commercial liability for exposing themselves into a lie and have a chance for people to come back at them with a true bill in commerce, a true accounting. This means they would have to set forth the contract, the foundational instrument with your signature on it, in which.
All right. It is giving us one last part.
All right, let me continue from here. In which you are in default,
Yes.
and a list of all the wonderful goods and services that they have done for you, which you hold them for a statement of all the damages that you have caused them, for which you hold them. To my knowledge, no one has ever received goods or services from the IRS for which they hold money. I personally don't know of anyone that has damaged anybody in the IRS that gives them the right to come and after us and say that you owe us money because you damaged me. The assessment phase in the IRS is non existent, it is a complete fraud. Wait a minute. There is one definition of service, or there is one definition of service that actually applies to the IRS. Service: the act of bringing a female animal to a male animal to
What?
get,
Yeah.
so that the owner of the animal, sorry, is there,
No,
that's
no,
the
no. No, I was just analyzing the only service that the IRS could provide for us.
okay.
Go ahead.
Service: the act of bringing a female animal to a male animal to get, so that the owner of the animals may enjoy the product of the union, gives you a warm, fuzzy feeling inside, doesn't it? This is why these rules of commercial law comes to our rescue. T.S. Eliot wrote a wonderful little phrase in one of his poems. We shall not cease from exploration, and the result of all our exploring will be to arrive at the place at which we began and know it is for the first time. This is the beginning and this is the end. This closes the circle on the process. One reason why the super rich bankers and the super rich people in the world have been able to literally steal the world and subjugate it and plunder it and bankrupt it and make chattel property out of most of us, because they know and use the rules of commercial law and we don't. Because we don't know the rules nor use them, we don't know what the game is. We know what to do. Sorry, we don't know what to do. We don't know how to invoke our rights, remedies, and recourses. We get lost in doing everything under the sun except the one and only thing that is the solution. No one is going to explain to you what and how all this is happening to you. That is never going to happen. These powers that be have not divulged the rules of the game. They can and do get away with complete fraud and steal everything because no one knows what to do about it. Solution. Well, what can you do about it? You need to issue a commercial affidavit. You don't have to title it, but that's what it is. You can assert in your affidavit, I have never been represented with any sworn affidavits that would provide validity to your assessment. It is my best and considered judgment that no such paperwork or affidavit exists. At the end of this document, you put demands on them. They must be implicit and then you state, should you consider my position in error? You know what they have to do now, don't you? They must come back with an affidavit which rebuts your affidavit point by point, which means they have to provide the paperwork with the real assessment, the true billing commerce, the real sworn affidavits that would make their assessments or claims against you valid. No agent or attorney or of a fictitious entity can sign an affidavit for the corporation. How can they swear as fact that the corporation has done or not done anything? They do not have the standing. They cannot and never will provide you with this. This means your affidavit stands as truth in commerce. You can even make it more interesting if you like. You go to all their laws, like Title 18, and you tabulate the whole list of crimes they have committed against you in lying to you, foreclosing and selling your home, and issuing liens and levies. Can be quite impressive. This can be quite an impressive list. If you tabulate the dollar amounts of the fines involved in the offences, you can take just Title 18, Section 241 alone with it, which is a $10,000 fine on any public official or of each offence. Sorry. This means for every single violation of the Constitution or commercial law, there could be 35 or 40 of these just in Title 18. I can hear feedback. Sorry. You're looking at $300 to $400,000. When they start adding up, they become very impressive. Now you attach this accounting, the criminal accounting, to your affidavit and your file. And you file it as a criminal complaint with the state attorney. This is like putting the fox in charge of guarding the hen house. However, more about this will be outlined later in this course. For now, just attach your affidavit and your criminal complaint to a commercial lien. But wait, there is even a more effective way of getting your equity back: a voluntary bankruptcy. These procedures will be detailed in course 5. The reason you go through this criminal complaint is because by their own laws and value system and penalties, they have hung themselves. They have already discerned and formulated the dollar amount involved in each of the various offenses. When you lien them for those amounts, they can't come back and say, well, these are out of nowhere. They're unreasonable. Where did you get this? Right out of your own codes. We're going to stop there. But Raskodites, we will continue this next week
I,
because I
I,
know time is of
I,
the essence.
you went above and beyond. I was trying to just have you, I'm coming, my son. Yes, I was just going to have you stop up earlier, but you have touched on some very, very crucial point. I hope we get a chance to read it so we can walk along with you. The UCC is very important as to when we're applying under the judicial governance that they're trying to put us under. So I can't go even much further into it, but is there any questions to Nana Lana with what she has presented tonight, brothers and sisters? You can open your mic and you could say what do you have any insight, or do you follow the suggestion that we have made to go and study it, and then next week or in the course of the week we will have one and two reason about it? Is that agreed?
Agree.
Good.
Agreed.
Agree.
I have
Agreed.
I have something that will complement what our teaching was about tonight for tomorrow. Um, that will be a good complement to follow. And I think what we're doing now is we're just reconfirming some of the instinct and the knowledge that we have been sharing. So I think we're on a good precept. Brother Taylor inside the YouTube, he said that great good going. And Crystal, we have put the PDF file inside the classroom for everyone to download and get familiar. The UCC is a personal device that we can use collectively or we can use it individually. It is something that the agents, they go by the codes, and there's a lot of codes in here that we're going to get into. All right, so
It is the glue and the foundation to fighting the corporations. This is what basically runs the planet, the
yes,
UCC.
I am personally looking forward to the gravy that you're going to put on this until on. I think you are building our momentum, so we can, when we watch these tapes, we can react in a sense where we can put the pieces together. Okay, and thank you so much, Nisha, for your involvement. As I said, we're wholly for work for though, and I think the class is just getting sweeter and sweeter. On that account, we have some homework to do. I put in the school exam, as I said yesterday, and some of the materials that need to be looked about. Anyone here that does not have an EIN? Danny, I talked to you last night about Sister Lana here, which she knows how to flip what's happening over on the pond. Like as I said, we have DOT over here, you have MOT over there. So Danny, I think you and Angela, you're both working together closely with Sister Lana, but within the
Is
class.
Danny in the class? Is he in the Kemetic class
Yes,
in WhatsApp?
yes, he
I
is.
did share the file with the details in there, and I also added the number on the file itself for them to call up the IRS to get their EIN there and then over the phone. So all the details is on that is on the file.
Okay. Danny, you hear that? You can confirm that. Sister Angela and Danny, I need you to work closely with Sister Nisha so you can get some of the things that's inside the document looked about. We need to have our LLC up. We need to have our EIN. We need to have our trust in act so we can have some form of safety to do our business with. All right. So please reach out. All right. If there's no anything else, I have to go and do some
We
other.
shall have be.
We shall have you. We shall have you. Thank you so much.
We shall
We
be.
shall be. Thank you very much, sister.
We
We
shall
shall
be.
be.
We shall be. All here, all here.
The world is a troubled place. We must fight
Thank you.
to save
All
the
right, Sister
human
Thank you
Lorna.
very
race.
Thank
much, my sister. Thank you very much.
Unity
Thank you so much.
You're most welcome,
has
guys. You're
no
most welcome.
place among the human race.